Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Sathya Seva Gurukulam. Free online classes in science. How are you all? Fine? You had petrol? Means breakfast, lunch, etc. Snacks. Be in good spirit, okay? So, we were studying about natural phenomena. Natural means what? Is adjective form of nature. Come on, tell what are there you see in nature. Yes, in nature we see birds flying. Especially evening times you might have seen how they go in line, correct? Or they fly in line. Water flowing, wind blowing, trees swaying, rainbow formation, rain falling, sun rising, sun setting, moon rising, moon setting, correct? All the movements of the animal kingdom and all the movements of the human beings, they are all called natural. So connected with nature. How many have the habit of enjoying nature? Even, flowers blooming. In the morning will be closed. After some time it opens slowly, silently. So all called natural. So when the nature is disturbed, and disturbance may be due to wind or due to water or pressure or something like that, then there will be some dangers. One of them is called wind. Of course, blowing of air is natural. Wind means fast moving air. How does it move? From a higher pressure to a lower pressure. And this wind will cause some storms also. And you might have seen, especially in summer, fast moving wind making whirls. Sometimes it will be mixed with the dust also, papers or light materials. And also another kind of that fast moving wind is also called cyclones. Especially it happens in the seashores, where there is the strong breeze coming from sea. Why it happens? Of course, naturally in the coastal states like Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, then Chennai, Pondicherry, and if you come to western side, say Kerala, then Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and so on. Due to there is a variation in the pressure of the sea, and this wind will move from sea to the earth, and they cause what is called as cyclone. Nothing but fast moving winds. They move with the speed of something like 120, 130 kilometers. What happens if cyclones come? Naturally, you can expect that trees will fall, houses will fall. Is it not? Disturbance for the human beings and power failure, so many things. Is it not? And one more thing is, natural phenomena is lightning. How does lightning occur? It is when the charged clouds come near. Means oppositely charged clouds. Clouds collecting with the positive charges and negative charges come near. There will be movement of charges. That causes lightning We have seen in the previous class. And it affects also. Sometimes the lightning, the force of the lightning, if it is more, it may cause dangers to the buildings or huge trees. Is it not? Even human beings also sometimes get affected by lightning. Is it not? So there are so many dangers. It's a natural phenomena. And also you have studied in the previous class about types of charges. What are two types of charges? Positive charge and negative charge. And you have seen about the laws of charges. What are the laws of charges? When you say charges, it is electric charges, plus and minus. Correct. Like charges repel each other. Unlike charges attract each other. That is called law of charges. And transfer of charges. For example, if you rub a glass rod with silk, the charges from electrons from glass rod will come to silk. So the silk becomes negatively charged, glass rod becomes positively charged. One simple natural example is rubbing off your hair with a comb. What does it happen? We have seen last time. It attracts the light paper pieces, correct? So there is nothing but transfer of charges. And how do you test it? Whether what type of charges a body contains? That can be done by a device called electroscope. The best form of electroscope is called gold leaf electroscope. And we can test the given, the given substance or given rod, whether it is positive or negative. You can test it by the help of electroscope. There will be two parallel leaves there, maybe aluminum foil or it is gold foil or something like that. So when you bring near the knob of the electroscope the given rod to be tested, there will be repulsion, like charges flow. And touch with your hand, it will come back. Is it not? That is what is called as earthing will take place. What is earthing? Flow of charges to the earth. How do it happen? It may happen to our body also. Body is also a good conductor of electricity. Do you know that? Yeah. So it passes through our body also, because the blood, what is there, the blood, water and all, they will help for flow of charges through us. That is why now in electroscope, if you touch with the hand, thumb, the charges will move through us. So how to avoid it? You may have a chappal or a gloves that will avoid a flow of charges through our body. So these are the things we have studied in the previous class. Shall we go to home assignment? How many have done it? Okay. First question is, define the term electroscope. What is electroscope? It is a device which can be used to test whether an object is carrying a charge or not. That is first thing. Secondly, you can make out whether it is positively charged or negatively charged also. That is also there. And what about me? Second one is earthing. The process of transferring of charges from a charged object to the earth is called earthing. So for a building, if you have a new building to be constructed, of course some of your houses may be in under construction now, correct? So this earthing is compulsory. How do they do it? They take some charcoal They take some salt. Is it not? The earthing wire is to be connected by means of a GI pipe. Why you must take GI pipe? Because it will not be affected by the sand outside or water outside. It will be very strong. So that is connected to the deep down to the earth. They take a pit. It's compulsory. Do you know? Yeah. So why they use charcoal? Because it is a bad conductor of electricity. So that is what is called as earthing. And second question, what are static electric charges? Mention the transfer of charges when a glass rod is rubbed with silk. The electric charges produced by rubbing are called as static electric charges. Just now I give an example. What is that? Yeah, charging the comb. If you brush behind your hair, that gets charges. So how do you know it? You bring some paper pieces, it attracts. Correct? So also suppose you have a sweater, when you remove it, you find some sound. Correct? And also some light. That's also static electric charges. And how it produce? It's produced by rubbing. Even early morning you brush your hands, correct? And brush your face. Why do you do that? That just to get some charges. So they are what is called as static electric charges. And when a glass rod, for example, when a glass rod is rubbed with silk, glass rod become positively charged and silk become negatively charged. Why does it happen? Only when rubbing take place, the electrons from glass rod will pass on to silk. So what happened to silk? Silk will be more with negative charges. That's why we say negative. And glass rod will be more with positive charges. That's why we say it is called positive charge. Okay. And one more question. Why a charged body loses its charges if you touch it with our hands? So when we touch with the charged body with our hand, the charges will move to the earth because body is a good conductor and it gets charged, gets discharged, sorry. So when you touch it with your thumb or your hand, etc., the charges will move from the electroscope or whatever device is there. It will pass on through us to the earth. That is why it loses its charges, because our body is a good conductor of electricity. What about earth? Earth is a huge source of electric charges. Correct? So naturally it goes to the earth. Next question, what is static electricity? The energy required for the process of passing electric charges from one to another is called static electricity. The charges move. Of course, only rubbing must be there. So, just now we told about glass rod. So, the process of passing charges from one substance to another is called static electricity. So, can you name one more electricity? Yes, it is current electricity. In current electricity, there is flow of electrons continuously. When you switch on, the fan rotates. When you switch on, the bulb glows. When you switch on, the mixer starts vibrating. So many things will happen just by switching on. So what is that? It makes and move like that. Nothing but flow of electrons. Okay, that is called current electricity. Now let us see what we have to study today. First one is story of lightning. Second is do's and don'ts during a thunderstorm. Third one is lightning conductor. These are the three topics we have to study in today. Okay. So here's a beautiful photo. Can you identify what it is? Yes, it is a cloud. So here you can see plus and minus. What are the plus and minus? The plus and minus are nothing but charges, static charges. So when there is a transfer of these charges from one cloud to another, lightning will take place. So during the development of a thunderstorm, the air currents move upward while the water droplets move downwards. So water droplets move downwards and air currents move upwards. As you know, in the rainy season you might have seen the clouds will be moving faster as if somebody is chasing. What is the mood of that? Because of the moving air, it takes them so. So when these oppositely charged clouds come near, there will be spark of light, and that is what is called as lightning. These vigorous movements cause separation of charges, and that is how you get what is called thunderstorm. Lot of sound also comes. Now can I ask one more question about this? See, thunder and lightning occur at the same time, correct? Lightning can be seen, thunder can be heard, but even though they produce at the same time, lightning is seen first, thunder is heard next. Why? Can you think? Yes, it's because velocity of light is more than that of velocity of sound. What is the velocity of light? 3 lakh km per second. What is the velocity of sound? 330 meters per second. So sound moves very slowly. That's why you hear the thunder later. So this figure shows the movement of charges and hence the formation of lightning. The positive charges collect near the upper edge of the clouds, negative charges accumulate near the lower edges. So in the cloud, lower portion is having negative, upper portion is having positive. Naturally, when they come near, there will be flow of charges. Hence, a lightning is caused. There is accumulation of positive charges near the ground also. So that is how this lightning strikes that's called striking, we call it. Strikes the trees, strike the tall buildings. Is it not? Even strikes the human beings also. There is nothing but the flow of charges. When the magnitude of the accumulated charges become very large, the air, which is normally a poor conductor of electricity, is no longer able to resist their flow. So it comes through the air. Actually, it is formed at a high distance, something like 2 kilometers minimum, 2 to 3 kilometers. And why it falls? Because even though air is a poor conductor, the magnitude of the charges means quantity of charges is very high. And that is why it comes to trees, buildings, human beings, etc. Okay, so this is one photo of lightning. But one mystery is that so far scientists could not get that lightning, could not catch that lightning. Why? Because it is formed in a few seconds. very difficult to catch at that moment. Now they are trying to get the temperature, something like 1 lakh degrees centigrade in the laboratory. Still they are not successful. But if it is caught, it's a very good source of energy which can be used for many purposes. All the energy crisis of today will not be there if you are able to catch this lightning. It's a challenge for you, okay? So negative and positive charges meet, producing streaks of bright light and sound. So this is a streak of bright light. Sound also takes place. What do you call it? Thunder. Is it not? And the sound moves also. Why does it move? That is because the wind makes them to move from one place to another. So we see streaks as lightning. The process is called an electric discharge. So this is called electric discharge. The process of electric discharge can occur between two or more clouds or between clouds and the earth. So the wind will make them to move from one place to another, and sometimes it attacks the earth also. Okay. So for example, this is a beautiful city, something like Bombay. It is lighted. Here you see this lightning is formed, and this lightning will attack the building like this, here, and all that. For so much of kilometers it spreads. What happens then? There will be damage to the building. Many people will be killed, or sometimes they lose their parts of the body. All that will happen. So what is the solution? Solution is every building, I mean to say tall buildings, should have a device called as lightning conductor, about which you will see a little later. Now during lightning and thunderstorm, no open place is safe. You are not supposed to walk outside when the thunder and lightning take place. Hearing thunder is an alert to rush to a safer place. So when you hear a thunder, you must go to some safe place. So after hearing the last thunder, wait for some time before light coming out of the safe place. So lightning will take. So before the lightning strikes, you must go to some safety place. A house or a building is a safe place. Of course, there should be a lightning conductor. Then it will avoid the lightning to strike against the building. Okay. So this is a beautiful photo how a lightning will pass to the buildings and it creates havoc. So if you are traveling by a car or a bus, you are safe inside with the windows and doors of the vehicle shut. So what you must do, if the lightning, during the lightning course, you have to close windows and doors. Windows and doors of the vehicle should be shut. And if you keep it open, lightning will strike the persons who are inside. So that is a caution to be noted. And you are not supposed to go in open space. And even in house also, you should keep your house closed. So do's and don'ts means what is to be followed, what is not to be followed during lightning and thunderstorm. So if suppose you are outside the building or going in a road, motorbikes, tractors, cars, etc. are not safe. How many know motorbike? Okay, most of you. But you have no license. Class 8, you have no license. Only after 18 permitted. Correct? Now we made it to 16, I think. So scooter, bike, etc. are not safe. Even tractor also. Why? Tractor also, there is an open space. There is no closing in tractors. And cars also. Suppose you close the windows of the cars, then okay. Even open fields, tall trees, elevated places, means something like hillocks, do not protect us from lightning strokes. So what you will do then? We will see that now. Carrying an umbrella is not a good idea, because in umbrella there will be a rod in the middle that is made up of steel, and it will immediately catch this lightning. Of course, the handle will be like made up of plastic. That is why the plastic handle will be there in umbrella, and it is a bad conductor. But anyway, your umbrella will be disturbed, because it will get affected by the lightning. Suppose in a forest, take shelter under shorter trees. Suppose you are going in a forest, don't sit under the tall trees, because tall trees, because of the height, they catch lightning easily, faster. Short trees means they will not catch so fast. That's why you are supposed to sit under a short tree. So these are some of the precautions to be taken, the do's, when you are outside the house. And how to sit it? How to sit? This is the position of sitting. See, he has kept two hands, cross hands, and he has kept his head on that safe position during lightning. So in such a position, lightning will not affect. So stay away from the poles or other metal objects. The electric poles will be there, tall, they having a huge height. They will catch lightning easily. Squat low on the ground. So here is, you can see, by placing your hands on the knees. See, this is how you can keep the knees, hands on the knees, with your head between the hands. So keep the head between the hands. So smallest target to be struck. Here what happens? The lightning will not strike in such cases. Okay, so this is one precaution to be taken. Suppose you are inside the house. So if you are inside, lightning can strike the telephone cords, telephone wires, they are good conductor of electricity. Copper wires will be there inside, and electric wires also, they will be affected, and metal pipes, because they are good conductor of electricity. So you must take care. It's safer to use mobile phones and cordless phones. So mobile phones, of course, no effect, because there will be no wire there. And then will be cordless also. Walkie-talkie, what you call. There is no danger in that case. Bathing should be avoided. Suppose you are taking bath, the lightning, the charges will come to water. It will affect you also while taking bath. So because there will be running water while taking bath. Are you taking bath daily? Today you have taken bath? Of course, some might have taken, but majority are not taken, correct? Take bath properly. If you take bath, chanting the names of the Lord, Gange che Yamane chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhin Kuru. Some will chant mantra like that. Some will chant Gayatri. By chanting Gayatri, that Gayatri will be in your hearts. So we'll pour water on that. It will be Abhishekam. Okay. So chant some mantras or slokas while taking bath. It will sanctify our, water will purify our body. The mantra will purify our mind. So you feel fresh. Correct? take bath daily, okay? So bathing should be avoided during the lightning or thunderstorm because there will be running water. So see that the tap is not opened at that time. You can wait for some time. Electrical appliances like computers, TV, etc. should be unplugged. But keep it, the plug should be removed because suddenly the lightning will strike these pipes and it will be transferred, okay? So what is the solution now? Especially for buildings, you have got what is called as lightning conductor. This is lightning conductor. Have you seen it? Yeah. It is in the top of the building. There will be what is called spikes here. And these spikes, what do they do? They will absorb the charges. So lightning conductor is a device used to protect buildings from the effect of lightning. There will be a metallic rod here, taller than the building. It will be kept on the topmost floor and installed in the walls of the building during its construction. So there will be a copper wire coming to that, connected to the earth here. So these spikes will be there. So what do they do? The end of the rod is kept out in the air, another buried deep in the ground. So this is buried here, one end, another end is, so here they are kept like a spike, sharp spikes. You have seen shoe spikes, correct? They will be very sharp. Why do you want shoes there? By wearing shoes, you will have a grip in the ground, especially football players and athletics, running 100 meters, 200 meters, etc. Better you have spike shoes. It will be a good friction and it will hold you to the ground strongly. So there will be a metallic rod here, at the end of which there will be a spike, usually 5 sharp tips. Why you must take sharp? Because any clouds or that contains charges come near the building, the spark, the sharp ends will catch this quickly and the charges will go into the ground. So by which building becomes safer. So one end of the rod is kept out in the air, another buried deep in the ground. The rod provides easy route for the transfer of electric charges to the ground. So the charges will be moving to ground, so nothing will happen to the building. So what is it called? It is called lightning conductor. Why it is called conductor? You heard about bus conductor. Why is it called conductor? Because he gives you tickets. He will make you to get down at a particular place. He will make you to come inside also. Be seated. Correct? One who conducts the bus is called bus conductor. But here it is conductor means the substance which allow the flow of electrons. So the metal columns used during construction, electric wires and water pipes in the buildings also protect us to an extent. So here what happens when the lightning strikes, the charges will be absorbed by the spikes that will be passed on to the ground. But if the quantity of charges is more, then it may give some dangers. So at that time you should not touch the metal columns during the construction, during the lightning So when the charges move from the conductor, you should not touch it. Electric wires and water pipes in the buildings during a thunderstorm. So during a thunderstorm, you are not supposed to touch the metal. Okay. So these are the precautions to be taken. You can also add some more to it. Correct? Understood? Of course, some of you may be doing already, but just for your remembering things, we have given this. Some interesting facts about lightning. The most lightning struck location in the world, Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela. Where is Venezuela? South America, correct? Is a place on earth that receives the most lightning strikes. Massive thunderstorms occur 140 to 160 nights out of 365. 1 year means how many days? 365 days, correct? So 365 nights will be there, out of which 140 to 160 nights per year there will be thunderstorms, and average of 28 lightning strikes per minute. 1 minute 28 strikes, please note it, and lasting up to 10 hours at a time. So in a night especially, up to 10 hours it will be continuing. So especially in the places like Venezuela, it happens. It's a very interesting fact, you must note. You can also search for some more places. That is as many as 40,000 lightning strikes in one night, because 28 lightnings for per minute means about 40,000 lightning per full night. Okay, so that's what the place where lightning is common. Okay, and they are taking all care for that. The government is taking a lot of care for that. Let us see home assignments. How is lightning caused? Note down. Write any 2 precautions to be taken during the thunderstorms inside a house. Inside a house. Sometimes a crackling sound is heard while taking off a sweater during winters. When you remove the sweater, some sound is heard. Why does this happen? Noted? Okay. Now let us see what Sadguru Madhusudan Sai says. Any work done in the selfless service of the family, society or nation is God's work. Society means what? For others. Family as usual, mother does so much of service for the child. You and I also experienced. We may not be knowing now, but she has done so much of selfless service without expecting anything. The child will not give you thanks. Will it give? No. But the mother continuously does it. So for the family, society or nation is called God's work. So it's selfless service and selfless love makes us nearer and nearer to God. Okay? Come prepared for the home assignment. Thank you.